Funding for the Trade Best Practice series is provided by the Benjamin Moore and Company Foundation in partnership with Teach Construction and through the generous support of PDCA sponsors and members. If it hasn't been clear up to now, painting is a business. And if you're going to understand how you fit in the big picture, it will help to know how the business works. Broadly speaking, we'll cover production, which is painting. Then we'll talk about sales and estimating, which is why people hire your company. And then we'll talk just a bit about numbers. First, let's talk about production, or the actual work that your company performs. At the core of production is production rates. This is simply how many units your company paints in a certain period of time. Here's the idea. Your company's production rate for doors is 1 per hour. Your competitor produces doors at 2 per hour. They are more productive and so will likely win the 600-door hotel contract. There are production rates for everything. Residential walls, commercial doors, filling nail holes, you name it. There should be a production rate for everything. If you and your team are hitting your company's production rates, your company will do well. That's the goal, right? Do good work profitably. The two big chunks of production are materials and labor. Materials are paint, tape, sprayer tips, and everything else used to produce a particular job. Materials are usually 10 to 30% of a normal job cost. If your team orders and uses materials efficiently, your company is more profitable. This is key. Your work really does have an impact on your company. Labor costs are the other chunk of production. Yep, that's wages, yours and everybody you work with. So if you're hitting production rates, that means you're a productive painter. And it's productive painters that choose their own career options. Okay, next, sales and estimating. This is really just about communicating. The customer communicates their needs, either verbally or through blueprints. They tell us exactly what the finished product should look like and how it should perform. The paint contractor, that's your company, communicates how it will meet those needs, the materials it will use and the amount of labor required and level of prep, number of coats, etc. The estimator is responsible for following up. This involves calls and emails to clearly understand what the customer is after and to build confidence that your company is best qualified to meet their needs. The estimator is also responsible for getting new business so that all the painters have steady work. Now that's a responsibility. And now the numbers. It's not important to know what all of the numbers mean, just that there are people on your team, no matter how big your company is, that are thinking about and planning to hit real numbers. And you are being counted on to help reach actual goals. Your performance changes big numbers. For one, take production numbers. Labor hours, materials cost, safety, meetings held, many more. Your hard work done right makes dollars. You being safe saves dollars. Then there are sales numbers. Sales rate, or how much per hour the job was sold for. Closing rate, or percent of jobs your company wins. Large jobs versus small jobs, etc. The more business your company gets, the more opportunities you have to learn and to continue to progress. And the accounting numbers. Accounts receivable, or money coming in. Accounts payable, or money going out. The numbers of hours of scheduled work drives how many painters are needed. Lots of numbers. Here's another number. Hiring and recruiting. Yes, you have an influence over who you work with. If you're helping to make your company a great place to work, there's a good chance you know someone else that will be a great fit. Share with them your experiences. Let them know and help make your company even better. Just like any team sport, everybody has a role and everyone needs to hit numbers. And all the roles and all the numbers influence each other and are important. So let's go talk to some business owners and let them tell you what they want you to know about the business side of things. You know what comes next. To the field.
My name is Gina Quartz. I'm with SPI, formerly Shamrock Painting Inc. in Denver, Colorado. I'm the president, And I got into painting. My father started the company in 1991, and I started as a project estimator manager. So as the president, I oversee all of the daily responsibilities in the office. I get with my director of operations in the field, and we coordinate, running the project. So pre-con, everything from running the meetings, checking with billing, just oversee the daily functions of it. So we have apprentices and laborers. They report to the foreman in the field. The foreman reports to my field superintendents. My field superintendents then report to my director of operations, who is Bill in the office. He's my right-hand man. I oversee the office and pre-construction. So the project estimators, project managers, and engineers all report to me, and then we come together to collaborate. We do primarily commercial and light industrial, very little residential. That it's very fast-paced in our line of work. We have a lot of deadlines and schedules, so I'm always honest about how fast-paced it is. But if you're a hard worker and you show just that willingness and the dedication to learn, you're gonna move up fast. We've had guys who started with us that were laborers, moved up to journeyman painters, from there moved up to foremen. We've had some of our foremen move up to field superintendents, and we've even had a field superintendent who moved into a project management role in the office. We try to help some of our painters discover what they might be good at. Some people might be better at spraying, or we have some painters that are better production painters. They come in on the prime and the first coat, and they really knock out things in their fast pace. We have other guys that are better at touch-up and the finish painting, where they can cut in really well and it's the final coat and it just has to be neat and cleaner. We have some of the guys who have shown that they want to be a foreman, but they want to start on a small tenant interior versus a large tilt-up, and they need to take on learning how to read blueprints. So then we'll sit down and try to give them those skills. So we do try to train, help figure out who fits well spraying, who's a better lift driver, who cannot get in the lift. There's a tremendous opportunity for growth in the painting field. People are still building buildings, repainting things. It's gonna continue no matter what. Even when the economy was in a downturn, people were still repainting offices and doing things. So it's a fairly strong industry that can weather some of those downturns. So it's an exciting time because of the growth. You can work on tons of different projects, whether it's an office building, a stadium. Some people can travel with it. It has a steady, strong career path in my mind.
So Shane, what are some of the top qualities that you're looking for in new team members at Garrett Painting?
Good work ethic, a good positive attitude, and good attendance. Anything that we do here in this company can be taught fairly easily, but you got to come with those three main ingredients: good attendance, good work ethic, and a good attitude. Because those are the three things you really just can't teach. People are kind of born with that.
Unpackage work ethic. What is that for you?
You know, work ethic is the guy that shows up on time, the guy that takes direction well. It's why am I doing that? I'm trying to learn, the reasons we're taking these steps, the reason we're going in this order. I'm trying to learn about the products. I'm excited to be a part of a team. I'm proud of what I've done at the end of the day. I'm proud of my attendance record, and I want to be that guy that my team members can depend on, and that my team members want to work with, because I have a sense of pride in what I do.
So who in your company do new team members go to talk about career options or career goals?
Before we've even hired somebody, we've already discussed their path to success in the company. Now, as somebody comes on the team and they're working with us and they're wanting to pick up new skills and they're wanting to learn new things, we have become a training culture. Our crew leaders are instructed to constantly be training, constantly be challenging new employees and teaching them new skills, so we keep them interested, and they understand that mastering those new skills will allow them to move up in the company.
Sounds like you got a good process developed to where people are constantly being challenged and trained, and kind of new skills harvested constantly, and they don't have to like, hey, I'm ready for the next thing. You guys are saying, hey, looks like you're ready for the next thing.
Yep, that's right. That's really important in not only the growth of the business, but the growth of the employee. Because if a guy's going to be a prep guy and he's puttying and sanding and caulking, you can only do that for so long before you feel stagnant in your position. So constantly putting new challenges in front of those guys is key to keeping them engaged. And we've really tried to incorporate training and challenging the employees into our culture. It's a part of who we are as a painting company.
So what are some of the business numbers that you deal with in the office that you think some of your team members ought to know? Obviously, they're not going to know about all of them, but what are some key numbers that you like telling them about?
Well, there's really only two numbers that our employees have to worry about, and the first is your attendance record. That's key to have good attendance, and if you're not having good attendance, we're going to let you know those numbers pretty quickly. And then, just our budget hours on jobs, although that is not the most important factor in completing the project, it is an important factor in completing the project, and we share that number with everybody on the team.
Next up, expertise. Numbers. It's all numbers. It's just everything's getting in my head, man. The numbers are I feel like we're all turning into numbers. Just everything's numbers. No, wait!